Sorry, I ran out of room on my camera. So what I'm gonna say? As I was saying, the health authority refused to provide any kind of advocacy. The college refused. There's no advocacy when someone's in crisis. You can go into a hospital and ask for a social worker. I mean, I wasn't in a hospital. Uh, I'm not in a hospital now. I need help to access healthcare. And here's the thing I wanted to say, and this is critical with my situation, and I lose the plot from time to time. And this is where I need somebody steadfast, and like I always feel like I'm directing all of this, and I'm driving this train, and I don't know what I'm doing, and I shouldn't be the one doing this. I shouldn't be the one behind the wheel. There were so many days I had zero sleep, and I'm in charge, trying to get around the city to neurosurgeons and neurologists and hospitals, and I've had zero sleep, and I'm out of my mind, and I'm the one in charge. Like, none of this is right. How can there be no advocacy for someone? No one to help take care of you, and you're in medical crisis. A neighbor has gone to lots of appointments, but I've been to dozens and dozens and dozens of appointments throughout this. And like, I need someone consistent, and then asking me and taking notes, and how did that go? You know, I've had someone take notes. What became of it? What became of it? Like, you've got someone putting, someone in a position that, you know. So here's what I've been trying to get at, and this is so important for my case. So this has fallen. So there's this one doctor who has done misleading things and tried to make people think that my apnea was not that bad when it was severe. When my oxygen was in the low 70s, he was telling people my oxygen was in the mid 80s. He wanted people to think that this was just apnea. Well, actually, in all the videos, in all the sleep studies, I'm wearing the CPAP. I'm shoving my head up. Why am I shoving my head up? And I'm saying to them, did you see the video? Like, my hands under the blanket or on top of the blanket, I'm shoving my jaw up. Why am I doing that? Like, this is their job. I'm not a doctor. This is their job. And then there's this, I was going to say, there's this crazy idea that doctors across the board have that, okay, so the person's got apnea. Okay, prescribed sleep drugs will make your apnea worse, will put you in further crisis. And that's what that's what was happening to me for decades, undiagnosed apnea. And it was putting me further and further into crisis the more sleep drugs they gave me. So then there's this idea that, okay, well, this person has apnea, so now they've got CPAP. Now we can just give them sleep drugs. It doesn't matter. Well, I think that's a really, counterproductive way to think. If you just think it like it's a mechanical issue, if you're removing from your mind, any if part of this is the autonomic nervous system, if part of the person's apnea is damage to the autonomic nervous system or autonomic nervous system failure, you're putting someone further into crisis, even when they have CPAP. Okay? So what's critical, if you think, sleep apnea is just a mechanical issue only, and for some people that may be true, and let's say it's just like a valve or a flap, and when a person's falling asleep, that closes. You can, not take into account that, this could be a jaw issue, a narrow airway, which I do have, and that was seen in a CT scan, but nothing was done. And I do believe the autonomic nervous system is involved. In my case, because if you're stopping breathing during the day, which I was with those drug injuries, I believe when these drug injuries hit me in 2018, 2019 and beyond, 2018, early 2019, I was in respiratory failure. I 100% believe that. But autonomic, nervous system failure on and off, one of the two. But here's the issue. Here's the whole thing, and I'm being gaslighted out of care, like, and I don't mean my family doctor. I mean the specialists. I am so desperate here. I'm so desperate for proper sleep, for my mind to be resting, to get out of fight or flight. And there's times I so badly want to take a medication. And doctors have thought to themselves, oh, well, you can do that now because you're on CPAP. No. If I take a drug, my throat this is it. This is the big thing. If I take a drug or a substance, any kind of substance that induces sleep, my throat is closing awake, preventing me from falling asleep, even with CPAP. And that is beyond apnea. When your throat is closing awake, they can't tell you it's sleep apnea and just put your CPAP on, because you need to fall asleep. You need to have the ability to fall asleep. If your throat is closing awake, you're not going to fall asleep. Your brain, not your mind, your brain, your human body is going to fight to keep that airway open. You're not thinking, well, I'm going to stay up all night to keep my airway open because I'm scared. That's not the process that's happening. What's happening is, whether you're conscious or not of your throat closing, your brain, your subconscious mind, your body is going to fight to stay awake to keep that airway open. Here I am. It's past 3:00 in the morning. I'm so tired, and this continues to be an issue, And I think I'm so being gaslighted out of care that, I resort to whatever I can. So I made that oral device, and I would say it helps 25% at least some nights, but I'm still waking up and not breathing. And, I don't believe this is just apnea. It's an airway issue. It's, I've spoken to people with a trach, and they are the only ones who I've met who relate to this level of terror. that you to this level of this this is so screwed up. Your throat closing awake and your air being cut off. There's like to live in not I don't even know if it's conscious fear. I don't sit around having concrete thoughts. Like right now I'm talking about it, but day to day through I don't sit around and think in concrete thoughts like, gee, oh my God, when I do, this just sends me out of my mind. It's so terrifying because I'm living this all the time. Like I wonder if an oral device would be the winning ticket, a proper one made by a dentist, or a trach, or Chiari surgery. Like, but I can't go on like this. I can't go on this tired, this stressed out, just in constant crisis. My life is like 99% on hold. I have no life. I can walk a few blocks. I can, walk to a few places, stores and restaurants, within maybe a 5-block radius, 6 blocks on a really good day. That's it. That's it. My life is gone. I'm in a holding pattern. I'm in a state of shock and trauma, and I'm waiting for help. 365 days a year. I'm waiting for help that's not coming. And then when I get overtired, if I get way, 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 way too tired, that closing of the throat thing is even worse. But God, like there's nights I'm so tired and I need rest so bad that I want to take a sleeping pill. And I can, but it's going to put me into crisis because my throat's going to be closing, preventing sleep. I don't know what they're not being transparent about why they're refusing care, and my family doctor can't do anything. And what's expected of me is I'm supposed to travel. Well, I have no money to travel. Where am I supposed to travel to? Another province, presumably, another province or another country. Even if I had the money, I'm too in crisis to travel by myself. There's no way I could travel by myself. And if we're traveling and staying somewhere and I'm sleeping 2 or 3 hours, I mean, I need a babysitter. I literally need someone to take me and put me in a car. And what am I traveling for? To get this assessed? To get a tracheostomy? For what? For Chiari surgery? What's the goal here? Like, there has to be a plan. And why hasn't that been done? Why hasn't a plan been done? 7 years ago, yesterday, 2 years ago. Because I'm afraid the worst is going to happen here. I had 3 hours of sleep last night. Darn, I forgot to check my oxygen through the night. None of this is right.